We are currently in May and Adana Demirspor have -2 points in the Turkish Super League due to financial issues, so it's clear that the club needs a rebuild. The goal of this rebuild is pretty simple. It is to dominate Turkish football, and we have completed the rebuild when we have won 3 Turkish league titles. As we can see, this is the team before we have done any changes, and yeah, it's not a good team at all. Low rated, 60 rated players around that, so yeah, this team is in massive need of some signings. However, looking at our budget, we only got 6 million, which is kind of decent. It's more than I expected actually, so we have at least some money to buy some players. But yeah, when we once again take a look at the squad, you can see the squad depth. Yeah, we have one player in our reserves, so we can't really afford to sell anyone. But despite us having 6 million in the bank, we can see there are so many of our players that are in need of a new contract as their deal runs out in a year. So most of the budget probably goes to just renewing the players' current contracts. And with giving our squad new contracts and also hiring the new staffs, we just have 3.7 million left, so yeah, it's not ideal, is it? So it's just time to get into the signings, and we signed a new goalkeeper. It is Jonathan Fischer from Fredrikstad for 1.25 million euros. And signing number 2 is Efe Akman from Galatasaray for 670k. And I know I said I didn't want to sell players, however I am looking to sell Mr. Karakus because we don't need 3 goalkeepers, and I'm also looking to sell this guy as he's a right back and we don't use right back. I also got another right back somewhere. So yeah, this guy is Kurtland as well. So I'm looking to sell 3 players simply because there's no need for right backs as we are going to use the 3-5-2, and also we don't need 3 goalkeepers either. We only managed to sell 2 of the players we were looking to sell, and that is Karakus, who has gone to the MLS, I do believe that team is, and we also have Kurtland, who has gone to a club I have no idea who is, so we got around 1 million for the pair. And our third and final signing, it is a right midfielder as we were in need of one, and it is Faride Alidu from Kaiserslautern for 1.9 million euros, and he is, as I just said, the last signing of this summer. So this is how the team is looking going into season number 1, and the task is pretty simple. It is just to hope to get some wins and some growth into some of the younger players such as Akman, Maestro, Alido, Fischer. But yeah, it will be a very, very difficult season as we can just look at this defense, 58 rated and 60 rated. So next season we know what we are going to look for, but we just don't have any more money as of now. But we have some decent young players, as we of course signed Akman, who is 18 years old, 62 rated, hopefully he can grow into a quality player. We have Alidu, 23 years old, 67 rated player, and also Fischer in at 22 years old and 68 rated. So yeah, it will be interesting to see where we finish. If I were to guess, I would guess the bottom 2 because I simply don't believe this team is good enough. That's his number done here in Turkey, and we have impressed massively. What? How have we pulled a 7th place off? That is absolutely insane with the defense we've got. We conceded, yeah, the most goals with Alanyaspor in the league with 63. However, we've scored a lot of goals as well. That is actually crazy. 36 games, 48 points, very solid. 7th place. We were almost in a European fight already. But yeah, as we know, the goal is, of course, not in this rebuild to win the Champions League or anything like that. It is to win 3 league titles. And we can see Fischer is up to a 73 rated. So probably Fischer and Gravion who has carried our defense. Alidu up to 71. Akman growing good to 66. Maestro looking solid as well. But Barashi up top has looked very good in terms of growth. This season, I was so sure we will finish in the bottom. Yeah, the best I was hoping for were like maybe 15th place, but 7th, that is absolutely crazy. And Fischer, yeah, growing by 5 ratings, it is insane. And Barasi scoring 19 goals, getting 4 assists, amazing. Aliu, 9 goals, 9 assists, which is also very good. Apart from that, Gravion, 4 goals from centre back is very amazing actually. Yeah, this season went much better than I thought it would. So yeah, If we can get anything close to 7th next season as well, then this is going to be a very exciting rebuild. If not, if we are getting dropped a bit, which I think we will, it will be more difficult. But hopefully the board will trust us with a lot of money so we can sign some quality players, as we can't really afford to sell anyone due to our depth. However, I forgot to see who won the Turkish Cup. It was Reisespor who beat Antalyaspor in the final on penalties. And the Champions League was won by Sporting, who beat Juventus also on penalties. And are the board trusting us? They are not. We just got 6 million once again, but we can sign some exciting talents with that cash though. And when we take a look at the squad, I think it's pretty clear where we have to upgrade. We conceded the most goals last season, so we need at least one centre back. But the goal is to sign 2 centre backs, because 61 rated and 62 rated just aren't enough. The rest of the team, such as Kul, Aktas, are alright. However, I would of course like to replace them as well. Akman on the other side is just 19, so he will grow a lot hopefully. But yeah, 2 new centre backs are on the agenda. We've signed a really exciting centre back here. It is Yasin Oshkan from Sabreze, however we pronounce that, for 2.8 million. He's a huge upgrade on the current squad. And we've also signed another centre back and another Turkish talent. It is Aksisek from Fenerbahce for 1.8 million. And we have sold this right back we were trying to sell in the first season for 400k. And our second and last sale, it is Fuegu, who has gone to AIK in Sweden for 870k. Our last piece of business in the summer before our second season here at Adana Demirspor, it is Tristan de Griff, who is signed from Anderlecht for around 1 million plus Actas. So this is how the team is looking going into season number 2, and we've made a lot of upgrades. De Griff, 20 years old, 67 rated. Aksisek, 19 years old, 66 rated, and Oshkan, 19 years old, 69 rated. So all 3 are upgrades on the current team, and as well as the potential they have is a lot of higher than what was previously in the squad. And I don't know what to hope for this season. I'm just hoping for a top 12 finish. If we can do anything more than that, I would be very, very happy. And how has season number 2 ended here? And yeah, this is more like it, and how I thought it would be here at Adana Demirspor. 3rd last, 17th place. Yeah, the defensive signings didn't exactly help. However, we got kind of the same goal difference. So yeah, with 16 draws, if we could just turn a couple of them into wins, we would have. Yeah, it was still a far away, but yeah. This was more like it. 17th place. The Turkish Cup winners Trabzonspor beating Alanyaspor 3-0. Did we maybe have any major injuries in the team? No, I don't think so. The growth has looked good. Barasi up to 73, which is really good. The Grief growing a few ratings. Alidu up to 73. Our defense are looking solid, or all 70 and above. Fisher up to 76, so yeah, I have no idea how we managed to fall so badly. Fisher played everything as well, so he wasn't injured, but maybe, yeah, all of our defense played pretty much everything as well. But Asi though, 22 goals, 2 assists, he is impressing me massively. Cool getting 10 goals, Aluoli 5 goals, 4 assists, Alidu 3 goals, 2 assists, not too great from him. Akman growing 3 ratings and playing a lot, which is very good because he has got good potential. Maestro doing Maestro things in the midfield, getting 6 assists. And Fisher was our player with the 3rd most assists with 2. So yeah, Jonathan Fisher is doing everything he can to help this team. And the board have given us 5 million, or 4.5 to be exact, so they are still kind of believing in us. But I'm unsure about which positions I want to focus on. Maybe I am looking to sell Alioli, or maybe bring in a left midfielder, or should I focus on the squad depth, as if any of our starting 11 players go down, we don't really have any good ones in the squad. You know what, I think I'm actually just gonna spend everything on a left midfielder because the starting 11, apart from that, yeah, maybe Cole as well. I'm unsure. I will just take a look at the market and see what I can afford. The focus in this transfer window is to get rid of the older players in the squad and replace them with younger, more talented players, and I will also focus on the depth of the squad. However, we've signed Mike Thamston from Randers for 400k plus Gravilon. Signing number 2, it is Max Bruns from Twente for 2.7 million. He is also the last signing that will going to be an instant impact in the starting 11. We have signed a new backup defensive midfield, or we have sold Alioli as well. We have sold quite a few players. I wonder how many of them we will see. Yeah, we've signed Pala from Rizespor for 720k. And we got rid of the players we wanted. Alioli has gone to Angers for 2.1 mil. Aimbeto has gone to China, I think that is, Beijing in China, for 400k. Aydogan has gone to, I think it's a Turkish team. I think that we sold a player to them earlier this rebuild as well for 390k. And Burat has gone to that team for 320k. So we sold 4 players, and of course we included Gravion in the deal to sign Thamston. So we signed, of course, Thamston for 400k plus Gravion. But now let's focus on getting some new signings in to improve the squad depth. We've signed a Dutch defensive midfielder called Fitchinger from Zwolle for 1.25 million. And the last signing of this busy summer transfer window, it is the Turkish talented striker Hekimoglu, who has gone to Athletic Bilbao this save. So this is how the team is looking going into season number 3. Of course, the new signing Bruns, 72 rated, just 23 years old, and also Thamston, 20 years old and 69 rated. However, we also improved the squad depth massively with Fitchinger, 68 rated, 22 years old, and also Hekimoglu, 19 years old and 67 rated. And we signed Pala as well, 25 years old and 65 rated. So very happy with this transfer window. Yes, we didn't really upgrade the starting 11, but we upgraded the squad depth and bench options, which I think can be crucial, especially for the future of the club. But yeah, let's see where we end. Maybe we can finish in top 14th, top half. No, not top half. That would be too much, I think. But let's just hope we can improve on last season's disappointing 17th place. And hopefully we can see some great growth into the team as well. And we have had an absolutely fantastic season, finishing 6th, which may be... Is that European football? No, I don't think so. However, that season is just brilliant. We went from 7th to 17th, I do believe, to 6th. A big improvement. We love to see it. Fenerbahce won the Turkish Cup, and the Champions League was won by Real Madrid. But looking at that table, I do believe we have seen some fantastic growth in this team. And yes, look at this. Barashi up to 77, Bruns 76, Fischer 77, Oshkan 76. Yeah, we like to see it, and the bench are looking still pretty solid as well. So, however, it feels like... No, everyone is still here. I just felt like it was someone missing, but I don't think there were. So, yeah, the team starting to look good. The weakest point in this team now is the striker. However, if Hekimoglu gets game time and can grow, he will for sure be more than good enough in the very near future. Fischer keeping 12 clean sheets, which is fantastic. Good by him. And look at Barasi, 21 goals. He's on a mission, growing 4 ratings. Yeah, very happy with him. Akman scoring and getting assists as well. The Grief getting 10 goal contributions, which is, yeah, pretty mid to be honest. But yeah, Barasi is by far the most surprising player in this team. Despite us finishing 6th place, we only got 3.6 million in the budget, which is, yeah, that is pretty poor. So I don't really know if we can get any big improvements into the squad. I will take a look, maybe we can do a swap deal or something, but yeah, it will be difficult to find any good improvements. And we have sold Cole, who has gone to Elche. We sold him for 2.1 million, so we now need to find a replacement for the striker position. I'm thinking about it. I'm actually not gonna sign a starting striker. I will just find a cheap backup because I want to see if Hekimoglu can grow some decent ratings this season and maybe he can make the starting spot his own. So I'll just find some cheap backup striker. The only signing we have or are going to make this summer window, it is, as we can see, Cole here, who of course sold to Elche. But we don't care about that now, I've already talked about it. But we also signed Dao, who is going to be our backup striker. We signed him from Anderlecht. And Dao is of course our only signing. He is 20 years old, a striker and 66 rated. But the most important thing is just to take a look at the starting 11 because in my opinion it's looking very good. We have of course Baras, who is just continuing to grow. Akman hopefully can still grow a fair amount of ratings. Our defense is looking very good. So yeah, hopefully we maybe can see a good season from Hekimoglu and maybe fight for some European spots. If that is the Conference League, Champions League, Europa League, I don't care, but it would be nice to get into Europe to maybe get some more cash into the bank. But yeah, we all definitely want to see some more growth into the team and continuing our improvements. And we have managed to get ourselves into 4th place and we are getting closer and closer and closer to our first league title. 12 points behind the champions Galatasaray. Aren't too bad, just 1 point behind 3rd. And we now get Conference League by the looks of it. So yeah, this is getting to look really exciting here in Turkey. Sivasspor won the Turkish Cup and the Champions League was won by PSG. But now we hopefully can get some money to improve this team, but it will be more and more difficult to improve this team as well as we are starting to get 80 rated plus players, with Özkan being 80, Barashi up to 81, Hekimoglu has actually gone up to 74, so maybe we'll stick with him. The Grief 77, Bruns, Aksikek 77, Fischer 79. So yeah, this team is starting to look like a champions team. And yeah, just look at Barashi, 19 goals, 5 assists. Hekimoglu actually had a very good season, 14 goals and 3 assists, going up 5 ratings. Very good, so I think we will stick with him for the next season. The Grief getting 19 goal contributions, very good. Aliodu getting 11. Thompson just getting 5. Akman getting 6. Yeah, Maestro getting 9, which is pretty solid. So yeah, another very good season here as the Adana Demirspor manager. And let's hope for some money so we can buy a huge new signing, because this team need that last little thing before we are the champions of Turkey for the first time. And let's see if the board are trusting us or not. We are finally into European football. And which European football is it? It is the Conference League. But how much money are they giving us? They are giving us a total of 8 million. 8 million for getting this from being poor to Europa football in just a couple of years. Yeah, not really surprising because considering the real life struggles this team unfortunately is in, it's maybe smart to not give the managers too much money. But yeah, I will see what I can do with 8 million. I will probably look to sign a new right midfielder, I do believe I will look for. Our only piece of business before the season, I think it's season 4 or 5, it is to sign Lambord for around 5 million plus Aliodu, who was our right midfielder, so it's just a straight swap in the starting 11 as well. So this is the team going into season number 5. I just checked and we are in season 5. It is of course basically the same team as last season, but Lambord is now our right midfielder instead. He is the same rating as Aliodu, however he is 4 years younger and also got more potential, I do believe. So hopefully he can grow, because Aliodu had reached his potential. But yeah, I hope we can finish inside top 5 once again and get some more growth into the team. Hekimoglu, I will be interested to see how he grows. Barashi will probably continue his impressive form, but we need to see some growth from Akman, Maestro, Thompson as well, because those 3 are now, although the 4 midfielders here are our weaker points, Hekimoglu of course as well, but the midfield is on the weaker side, so we need to see some growth from them. All are still at a very good age, so they should all grow. But yeah, let's hope we can finish inside the top 5 once again and get European football. And season number 5 is done here at Adana Demirspor, and we finished second, 84 points. That would have won us the league last season, but the improvements are there, and we conceded just 29 goals. We are getting really close to our first league title now. Fenerbahce won the double. Yeah, they won the double. And the Champions League was won by FC Barcelona. However, let's take a look at how we did in the Conference League. Was it a big mistake or did we do well? Or not a big mistake. Did we flop or not? We went through the league phase and we also won the round of 16, but we went out to Nice in the quarterfinals, which is completely fine as the goal is just to win 3 Turkish league titles. And let's take a look at the squad. Barashi 85, De Grief now up to 80, Akman 78, Lambord grew by 3, Thamson up to 77, so Maestro has been stuck on that 75 rating. So it seems like Maestro and Bruns are the 2 players in the squad that aren't growing too much as of now. But yeah, I have belief we can win the league title next season if we sign the correct players. And look at Fischer, 21 clean sheets, 16 in the league is just fantastic. Barashi 30 goals, 11 assists, Hekimoglu getting 12, which is alright. Lambord of course grew by 3 ratings, getting a fair decent amount of goal contributions as well. De Grief 6 goals, 7 assists, Akman 5 goals, 7 assists. Yeah, Thamson 5 goals and 9 assists. So let's go into season number 6 and hopefully we can win the first of 3 Turkish league titles. And we got just 11 million euros, so there aren't really any big money we can do in terms of improving the squad. However, I have to probably include Maestro in a swap deal or even sell him. But yeah, I will at least try to bring in a new defensive midfielder. We brought in a new defensive midfielder called Christopher Oliver for Maestro plus 3.4 million from Bournemouth. And I'm just sticking with the same team apart from our new signing Oliver, who is 22 years old and 75 rated. I feel like the team is very good. However, there are still no one who has reached their potential apart from Maestro, who we of course included in a swap deal with Oliver. Everyone can still grow a few ratings, so I'm just sticking with the same team to see if they will grow, and if they aren't, I will sell some of them next summer and do kind of a rebuild of this current starting 11. But we have some very interesting players now. Oshkan up to 83, Barasi up to 85, De Graaf 80. So yeah, let's see where this team can take us. Can we win our first Turkish league title, or do we have to wait a few more years? And the board are not happy with us here in season number 6, and that is because we have finished 5th. Which means we got no European football, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, if only we got the amount of points we did last season, we would have won the league quite easily. The Turkish Cup, we are yet to win that as well. It was won by Fenerbahce. Champions League was won by Sevilla actually. And the Europa League, we were there and we lost in the final to Stade Rennais 2-1. We were so close to our first piece of trophy or silverware. But Renault was the better side in the final, it seems like. And how is the team looking? Hekimoglu just 77, so he has only grown by 1. But yeah, everyone apart from 3 players are now 80 and above, and Barashi is getting closer to that 90 rating, so I guess he has continued to score goals like it's nothing. Yeah, 27 goals. Laborde getting 24 goal contributions, which is very good. So yeah, I think the task is clear. We need to find a new striker, as Hekimoglu isn't really growing at the pace I was hoping for, but hopefully we get money so we can buy a good striker. And we have made an absolutely insane sale. We have sold De Grief to Nottingham Forest for 90 million euros, so let's use those money wisely and improve the squad massively. And our replacement for De Grief, it is Julio Enciso from Brighton for 40 million euros. And our second signing, it is Matteo Joseph from Freiburg for 26 million euros. So this is how the team is looking ahead of season number 7, I do believe we are now. Joseph, our new striker, 26 years old, 81 rated. And Enkisu, our new attacking midfielder, 26 years old and 84 rated. And the rest of the team is looking good. Everyone are 80 or above, apart from Oliver, who I do believe will reach it this season, and Bruns as well. I think he will hopefully reach 80 rated, and if not, he will be replaced next season. But yeah, surely we can fight for at least a top 3 finish now. It's time to get back up there, and hopefully we can even win the league. And in the season 7, we can't even access the table as of now, so we have to wait until the end screen. But all we can do is just take a look at the squad and team to see if there has been any decent growth. And Barasi is up to 90 rated. Joseph has grown by a rating, and Chiso as well. Oliver, on the one hand, is not growing as I was hoping for, so we probably maybe needed to look for a replacement for him already. But Oshkan 85, Akman 84, Fischer 84, we have some really exciting players in the team. And let's take a look at the stats. Fischer playing 61 games, Barasi as well, that is crazy, 61 games. 15 clean sheets though, I was hoping for more. But yeah, Joseph, 24 goals, 7 assists, Barasi as well. And Shiso, 19 goal contributions. Lamborde, 8 goals, 5 assists. So yeah, Oliver scoring 7 and getting 9 assists, which is pretty decent to be fair. So yeah, that's Dow. 3 goals in 2 games. If he did that every time he played, then he would be the best striker in the world. But yeah, we have to wait until the end screen. And here we can see Hekimoglu isn't even playing, poor guy. But we will have to wait until the end screen to see if we have finally won the league. And maybe we even won some other cups as well. But hopefully we have got our hands on the first league title. And let's take a look. And we have won the league. We have won the Turkish Super League. And we won it with a whole point. We barely won it with just 1 point and just 3 points above Fenerbahce. So we have won 1 out of 3 league titles. Let's go for 3 in a row. That would be insane. Galatasaray won against us in the Turkish Cup. And the Champions League was won by Real Madrid. Let's see where we went out. Because we were here, right? Or were we not in the Champions League? Maybe we were in the Europa League? Yeah, we were in the Europa League and we went out in the quarterfinals probably. No, in the semis. We went out to Lazio in the semifinals, but the first of 3 league titles have finally come to Adana Demirspor. And how kind is the board with us now that we are a Champions League club and have won the league? 21 million. Yeah, just 20.5 million. Looks like we will just stick with the same team for another season. And in case you forgot it, this is of course the team. And yeah, I feel like it's no reason to change anything. Oliver had a good season last year, so he can continue. Bruns can probably get one last chance. And even if we win the league title once again, I think I will probably stick with the same team. Unless we got a lot of money and have a good opportunity to sign a big improvement. But yeah, we will just stick with the same people because they won the first league title to Adana Demirspor. So let's see if we can get 2 in a row. A little change in plan. We are just improving our squad depth once again with just Turkish players. So I've signed a left mid called Unal. He is 76 rated and yeah, just an improvement on the squad. We've also signed 75 rated centre back Baltasi from Galatasaray. And we also needed a new backup left back because the contract went out with our previous one. So we signed Osimhen from Göztepe. And have we managed to win 2 in a row? We have. Yes, we have. And this time we won it with 2 points above Galatasaray. Fenerbahce were long behind us. And same with Besiktas, a total of 19 points behind. We also won the Turkish Cup, so we won the double. The Champions League was won by AC Milan. And let's see how far we got in the Champions League. We went out to PSG in the round of 16. But we, of course, only care about the Turkish League in this rebuild. And we won it back to back. Can we do it 3 in a row, or do we have to give it to someone else for a year and then win the third one later on? We will find out next season. And the team, yeah, just look at Barasi, 93 rated. He is on a mission. We have Oshkan as well, who has grown very well. Fischer, Akman, who has been here since the start. Same with Fischer. Those 2 were 2 of our most important signings in the save, but both also joined the first season. And also Barasi, who is an original player. So yeah, I think unless we got good money, I think we will just stick with the same team for another year. But we will just take a look at our budget for next season when we are there, and let's just take a look at the stats. And Barasi delivering world-class numbers with 43 goals, 12 assists, and Chisio having a good season as well. Joseph, yeah, not too good, but when your strike partner scores 43 goals in 57 games, we are more than good enough. So yeah, Akman getting 11 assists, which is pretty solid from the DM spot. And the board are just giving us 24 million, so you know what, we are just sticking with the same team. They deserve to play with potentially the one last season here together. It's a really good team with players who has been here for a long time, and then we have the new ones such as Encicio, Oliver, and Lamborde, and Joseph as well. Haven't been there too long, but it's a nice combination of original players such as Barasi, he's actually the only one, and players we signed early on such as Akman and Fischer. The bench also looking pretty good. And that's another season done, and have we made it 3 in a row? Yes, we have 93 points in the final season as the Adana Demirspor manager. We have won 3 in a row, and we also won another cup. Champions League, however, we went out. We had a poor Champions League campaign. We went out in the playoffs to Barcelona. But however, we only cared, as I've said multiple times this episode, we only cared about the Turkish Super League. We wanted to win 3 of them, and we have done so. So it's safe to say Adana Demirspor are now dominating Turkish football. And let's just take a look at the stats of our players. Barasi up to 94, rated 43 goals, 10 assists. Josef 22 goals, 3 assists. Encicio 18 goals, 14 assists. Unal doing well. He has played almost the same amount as Themsen. Akman 6 goals, 3 assists. Oliver 5 goals, 6 assists. And Lamborde getting 13 assists, which is pretty good. And how many clean sheets did we keep? Just 11, which isn't too great at all. But who cares? We won the league for a 3rd time in a row. That was the goal, and we did so. And this is the team that did it. Fischer 87 rated, Bruns 82, Aksieszek 84, Oshkan 86, Themsen 82, Akman 87, Oliver 82, Lambord 84, Encicio 88, Joseph 86, and the big boy, the man who's been here since the start. He's an original Adana Demirspor player who is up to 94 rated, and we also have some alright players on the bench such as Hekimoglu, Unal, Baltashi. But yeah, this is the team that is dominating Turkish football with Adana Demirspor. And thank you so much for watching. We dominated the Turkish football. That deserves a like. So please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will talk to you guys next time.